mentioned third places, and I've heard this pop up a few more times. So let's talk about third places and what this means to you, and maybe even explore some of the lack of community issues that are around the modern world and how third places might help.
Yeah. So I think there's a third place, which we'll talk about like why, but I also think there's like a fourth place.
Oh,
which nobody's talking about. And it kind of like a fourth place almost was something that like church fulfilled.
Yeah.
And so if you think of like connection now, so let's talk about why like third places are.
Well, what is a third place? Let's start there.
So it's a place that's not your work and not your home. And so it's a space that you connect with other humans that is like your third spot. So everybody has a home, everybody has traditionally had a home, had work, and then they'd have a third place. So a lot of times like Starbucks was built on this model that you'd have this neighborhood coffee shop that you would go to, and it was the third place that you spent the most time outside of work and home. And it's not like a gym that you go to by yourself. It's a place where you go where there's other human beings that you know and connect with frequently. So it's really like a place to gather with a like-minded community. And there's been like an assault on third places. So you call like, now like, you know, you might not even have a second place. Like you may work from home, you may Uber Eats and eat from home, and it's just like a world of first places. It's just like your fucking home, you know? And so way less people doing religious activities. In COVID, like things dropped off a cliff. The number of like average close, what do you think the number of average close friends a US person has? Like you like
2, 3?
It's 0.8, which means that like most people don't even have a
close friend.
Friend, you know? And so then there's the rise of like social media, which has benefits, but also like really the way it's affecting your dopamine. I don't think we're supposed to live like that. So you take like a society 50 years ago where you'd be seeing people at work, you'd be going out and eating like in the neighborhood often, around like significantly more people, you're having like close real connection, and that's changed. And so the third spaces have become, first and second spaces. The second space has been destroyed. The third space like doesn't exist. So where are places that we can hang out and connect, and like how do we create more of them? And then beyond connection, I think there's like this idea of a fourth space, which is an idea of a place to process emotions in a group where you're seen by others, and you have a place to be vulnerable and share and like be witnessed. And so like that kind of happens in therapy. Most people don't have access to therapy. It happens in traditional cultures. Like the Sweat Lodge was like exactly this kind of place. It would happen in church. So, you know, it might be a place where you can go and like say, hey, I need help with this. Like I go to this church, and I'm not like super religious, but I love this church in Toronto called C3, and they have people that will pray for you. And I don't even necessarily really believe in like God or Jesus or any denomination, but if I go and I just am there and I'm just like, hey, what is something that you're struggling with that you want someone to pray for? And like pray can mean whatever you want, but like you go up and I tell you, hey man, I'm really struggling with like work stress. And you're like, I'm going to send you some good thoughts. Like that's fucking amazing. Yeah. And so where's the fourth place where that can happen? That's not like religiously inclined, dogmatic. And it's just kind of like a place where like you can say something, people can see you, and that something is something vulnerable and emotional, and you can like kind of get it off your chest and be witnessed in a group, which is like group therapy is group therapy is often more successful than individual therapy, but it's hard to like, where do you do group therapy that feels inspiring? So that was like a lot of the inspiration behind Othership, was like creating a space to process emotions in a group. And so we're calling that a fourth space. So it's not just a place to connect and gather, it's a place to like be seen and share. So I think that's like the real magic, and something that like most people aren't onto yet, but will be.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. I did notice that with some of the classes when I went, there was some opportunities to open up and share. And I think it's challenging to do that in normal environments, but the fact that you've just dunked yourself into a cold thing of water and you put yourself through some stressful situations, the combination of shared challenge, even if you don't know the person, makes you feel connected, which makes you feel like you can open up a bit more. So I do see that.
So that's awesome. It's again, creates the platform to like do that. Like if you just said, hey, let's all go sit in a room and share like our tough time today, like that's like literally zero NPS. Nobody will do that. But the thing is, I do men's work and I've done a lot of these groups.
Yeah.
And there's a magic moment, just like hole plunging, of sharing something and being seen by others and having people hold space for you. Like that moment itself does something in your body and mind that feels amazing. And so it's just, I'd always be like, I don't want to share. I want to go, and then I share and have someone see it. It's like, wow, man, it feels like you're going through X. It's like, whoa, there's something really special there.
Yeah, something.
So that secret moment is almost as important as the hot and cold's kind of just a platform to get to that moment. And I think if you're like struggling with loneliness, that feeling of, even if you're not the one sharing, if you see someone share something that's like, I'm really dealing with imposter syndrome at work, and I feel not confident, or I'm going through a really bad breakup. You see people being human. Like there is nowhere to watch people be human beings right now live. That like doesn't happen. So I think
unless it's
cool.
like Married at First Sight or something.
But that's not real. Like married, like it might happen, but that's not like, and even then it's not like, that's like, oh, like we're infatuated and in love, like feel like
really feeling it. Yeah.
Like it just makes me feel like a human being to hear people struggling and like telling you about that. And so I just like it, life has like so many ups and downs. Being able to feel all emotions makes it so rich and full. Yeah. So I just think it's important.
No, that's good. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, make sure to catch the full episode via the link in the description below. We'll see you there.